Good evening, everyone. Let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. Everyone, pledge allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. You may be seated. Has everyone had a chance to look over the agenda?
Yes.
Can I get a motion to approve?
All motion.
I'll thank you. Tatiana, and all in favor?
All right, we're giving our financial report. I call Ms. Walls.
That's,
Don't allow.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Good enough.
Good enough? So, first of all, I'll tell you, I took a trip today to the, I thought it was on, hang on, I see it.
There's a button on the bottom,
I got it.
near the bottom.
Yes. Okay, well, first I want to update you on the tax digest. I've been talking to Miss Crystal at the, I always call it courthouse, whatever that tax assessor's office is,
yeah.
for the last couple of weeks, and they are running behind. They don't have our documents ready yet. Today, they said they would probably end up filing for an extension anyway. But I have been in contact with them, so as soon as I can, and I'll keep reaching out to them. Because sometimes when you pester someone, they'll get you what you need. But I'll do my best to get it as quickly as possible. So on your general fund report, we received $1,282,070 in the month of June. We paid out a total of $2,065,749, and $1 million of that was transferred into the capital outlay fund in June. So that left us in our checking account with $4,054,826, and with the amount we have, the $2,196,602 in our capital outlay fund for general fund. That leaves us a total of $6,251,428. Nutrition, they took a total of $5,921 in June. They paid out $864.32, and they have an ending balance of $298,982. You have your daycare report. Now, that would cover the entire year, if I'm not mistaken. They're not open in July, are they? So that will take care of the entire year. Splost and debt service, we received $112,789 in Splost proceeds. We took in $4,762 in interest, for a total of $117,552. We made $348,000 in debt service payments, $680,421 for the high school project, for a total of $1,028,421 out of the SPLOST account. We had an ending balance at June 30 of $1,201,579. The local capital outlay, of course, we transferred in the $1 million from general fund. We earned $22,318 in interest. Didn't have any payments. So with both general fund and the federal capital outlay, we have a total of $8,106,977. We have $590,582 in open POs. And a lot of that is the construction, so that's not all just everything normal. So on your DU 46, we have taken in 111% of our revenues, which means we received more than we thought we would. We have spent 98.99% of our expenditures. And then you have your bedroom report. Any questions?
No. All right, thank you, Ms. Wall.
Thanks, ma'am.
Next, we have our information on the department update for facilities operation. We have Director of Safety and Maintenance, Chief Harrison.
All right, I'll give a quick facilities update. As you can see, the biggest project this summer was the flooring and the paint. And I think it turned out I think it looks great. And it was, my favorite part of it is the big decal and rotunda, and just kind of gives us something like, don't step on our logo, and, gives us something to, push the kids forward. So the flooring is probably about 98% done. We have a few closets remaining that will, they're coming this weekend to prep, and then next weekend they're coming, they're going to paint it with epoxy flooring due to the drains in these custodial closets. All the painting is done. Now there's a little bit of touch up from students bumping into the walls that Mr. Bird and I will take care of. Over the summer, we were pretty busy. We did a lot of stuff around the elementary school between cleaning some stuff out from Ms. Herr, tearing down the pull-up bars that were there when I was a kid. That was tough. We cleaned out the Well Street shop, and there's quite a bit of stuff in there. We did a little bit of work at our football field to make sure our roof is still in good shape. And Mr. Bird and I are taking a proactive step in facilities this year and really trying to maintain and take pride in what we have and try to instill that in our kids. A couple other things for the high school is, if you can see the decals we have on the wall, that's part one of it. We got part two. The proofs came in today. So we'll have a little more. Our ROTC's getting some. They're going to look great. The gym, they're going to touch a few more up in there, and that's one of the best parts of that gym. The stage curtains. We're meeting with a guy Thursday to look at stage curtains and get those measured. Check out the gym concessions too. Painted the cabinets black, which just transformed the concession stands. And we've got around the schools to again show our pride. And that's our goal. Operation Clean Campus and having our kids take pride in our facilities.
Yeah, beautiful. Great.
Any
Great
questions?
job. No, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Beautiful work this summer. Yeah,
Thank you.
pretty gorgeous.
The next item is a report that shows our demographic data, which is from student enrollment, transportation and routes, and personnel. And you'll see our enrollment, and this is at the midpoint, meaning within the 5-day window. Generally, we settle in after the 10th day of school, so on that 11th day, our demographic data, which includes student enrollment, is settled. You see pre-K, we have 37 students. The Elementary Education Center, we have 289, middle school 206, and high school 454, which gives us a total of 986 students. And we have some that were still being put in, as well as individuals that are waiting. So after the 10th day, we will have a more definitive number for student enrollment. Any questions about the enrollment? Okay, transportation, middle school, high school, we have 4 local routes. High school, for Fort Benning, we have 6 routes. The Education Center, 5 routes that are local and 2 that are Fort Benning, giving us a total of 17 routes. And then looking at our personnel for the daycare, we have 2 full-time and 1 part-time. Pre-K, there are 4 individuals. The Education Center, there's 41 adults that work there, middle school 20, and high school 46. Then transportation, you'll see we have 6 full-time, 5 part-time, and within the board itself, across the board, 17, which gives us 142 employees for Chattahoochee County Schools. Any questions about our demographic data? Okay. Next is the end of year achievement. This is the information that was presented at our district leadership retreat we had this summer in July, in which each school presented their information. If you had a chance to look at it, you'll see where we had a lot of gains and growth. So it shows the work that our school level leaders have done with our teachers and ensuring that our students are receiving a high quality education where the engagement is there and they have the ability to apply what they are learning throughout the year. In reference to the academic data. The next item lends itself to our millage rate. We generally have a discussion about our millage rate to see if we're going to accept or roll it back and start having some conversation. Without us having that information, we're unable to do so. And that will lend itself to the upcoming meeting for this month, which would have been a call meeting. So until we hear more, we won't have that item that we would have as a call meeting. Because as a board, we must first have a discussion. So it may go into September that we will have our meeting.
Didn't we just adjust the millage rate in February or March of this year down?
We rolled it back last August.
Yeah, last
We
August.
accept-
Year?
Yes,
It's been a
Yes,
year.
it's every year, Eric, we do it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it feels like we just had that discussion.
We talked about it at our budget meeting.
Oh, that's right.
We had some conversation in reference to it, and I mentioned that the only other way to fund the things that we need would be to raise the millage rate, which would require various hearings and presentation to the community about raising the millage rate, which will impact taxes, and that's not something we want to do. We want to be able to show the constituents here that, no, we're not wanting to do that. We can get everything we need, splash, and possibly a bond. Okay. Any question about that information?
No, sir.
All right. The next item is our annual training plan. The first item you see talks about the training that our board will take, which is in December and in June, which is what GSBA offered, and then a whole board governance training on domain 9, safety, which Chattahoochee Flint Risa will offer to us at South Georgia Tech on March the 15th, 2027. So when they send that information out, I'll have all of us register for it, every board. Since that is a new domain, we do have to have that training that will allow us to be up and knowledgeable of what's expected for those standards that are embedded within that domain.
And you said that's March 15th, 2027?
Yes, sir. March 15th, 2027. It is around the corner,
Yep.
in essence.
Not even now. Full board training, you said?
Whole board training. It is from 8:30 until about 3:30. It'll start actually at 9, 8:30, sign in, grab coffee, those things to get settled and situated at our table. And we'll go until about 3:30. And we'll have 6 hours there. We'll get credit for that day. That's South Georgia Technical College.
South Georgia Tech. Okay, thank you.
And I'll be sending out additional information once they send confirmation. If they don't have a large group of board members that are gonna come and they have training from somewhere else, they say it'll move to Risa and Elevator, but I will make you all aware of that beforehand.
Yeah,
But it still will be on that day. It still will be on that day, yes.
8 a.m.
Okay, yes.
All right.
Okay. All right, the next 2 items.
Takes it from me.
Policy BHA, conflict of interest. This is our board policy that governs our board to ensure that we follow these things that are outlined as a board whenever we have a conflict of interest. And these 13 items, 7 items deals with the conduct as a board member. And then the last 2 items talks about each member of the board understand and acknowledge that no person shall be eligible for election as a board member of local board of education unless, and it tells you what you have to do to meet that criteria. It's an annual review in which we have to review each of these policies. And then policy BH is our code of ethics. And it goes over those domains and those structures that are there that we have to follow. And once we have the training, then we also will have this policy here with some revision to it as well, based on that safety domain. Okay? Any question about those two policies and the plan? Okay. The next item for information is our August 2026 GSBA policy alert from July, which there are no policy implications, nor any litigation at this time. Yes.
Thank goodness.
The next item is for information only purposes. Our security renewal that we have to complete, which is, it was $14,514.08. That's through Howard Solutions for our technology, and it's a filter system that we utilize. And it also allows our teachers to have a digital hall pass and we're able to account for students. So they were in the building. Okay? Now we're in the action item. We have our personnel agenda. And that slate has the following. We have 1 reclassification. We have 8 employment, and then we have 1 resignation. I'm going to allow the board members to take a look at those items, and if you have any questions, please let me know.
I knew she could spell it. Just say it, you know.
I'll make a motion. I second.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna ask, you know. All in favor? I'm sorry.
The next item is for you all to approve the plan that has been presented to you all to follow for the 15 hours.
All right, can I get a motion?
I'll motion.
All right, Fabiana, second.
I'll second.
Aaron, all in favor? Okay.
In the compliance form, you all have signed it. That's the same thing that we were just talking about. All right, and then the call board meeting, we would not vote on that since we do not have our tax digest from the village budget. Okay. All right, that concludes all the items that requires action.
Public participation, anyone?
Thanks for me, no.
No executive session?
No executive session.
All right.
We will have an executive session once the plan comes back from the local law enforcement while safety plan. That's part of the safety requirement. If we have to present that to you all in executive session.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so
Shirley.
I'll
Shirley,
make a motion.
That girl.
I'll
second, Tatiana,